I am Michael Hummel with Culture of the Senses, and I am here with Charles and Ahmad Erland from Love Vendetta. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for
Tell me a
having
little
us.
bit about the studio first.
This is the Alamo Rehearsal Studios in downtown. We're about 3 blocks north of the Stratosphere. So it's a wonderful neighborhood. A lot of families. No. Anybody that's a musician that's watching this that knows the Alamo knows where we're at. You know, it's an old motel converted into rehearsal studios. About 15 bands.
How did the band form, and how long ago?
I was living in New York at the time. He was out here in Las Vegas. I was playing drums, he was singing, and we got on the phone one day and we just felt that a family band was going to be in our future. Our dad was a jazz musician, and music was always in our lives, and we just felt like we needed to unite and put a band together, and it just...
I think he had just broken up with his girlfriend and his band in the same month, and I was like, dude, pack your stuff, man. Come out here to Vegas. You know, I worked for a long time with Brandon Flowers from the Killers. I hung out in their garage with those guys when they were writing Mr. Brightside and songs like that, you know.
Yeah, he was constantly sending me. He was like, hey, listen to this demo by my buddy Brandon. They're called the Killers, and he's like, they're gonna be huge. He was like, at one point he was like, I think I want to manage these guys. They're gonna be big. And he was like, you got to get out to Vegas. The scene is heating up out here.
Yeah, I felt like things were really starting to move, and just being there, watching somebody, you know, seeing a band like that come from, you know, playing the Boston with 10 people in the audience to, I saw them at Staples Center, you know, a couple years ago with, you know, with 30, 40,000 people is very, it's really inspiring.
Yeah.
You know, so, and we didn't even put the band together at first. We had formed a LLC. We had a company that we called Burner Brothers Productions, and they called my dad the Mighty Burner. Was like his amongst other musicians when he played the Hammond organ, and we called it Burner Brothers. And we went out and would go and scout local bands. And we wanted to. I had some money in the bank at the time from some real estate deals, and we wanted to find some bands that either manage them or write songs and have them get in the studio and record and stuff. And it's funny, we couldn't really find anybody to take us seriously. You know, we finally met this one girl, and she was an amazing singer, and we'd set up all this stuff, and Ahmad had songs written and everything, and she was just turned out to be a flake, you know. And so we said, you know what, he had a whole book of songs and poems and stuff, and we said, let's just do it ourselves.
It's like he's one of the best singers I know.
Oh, I was awful.
Book of songs. My whole, you know, my only thing I came out here with when I moved out here was like a couple suitcases and then my drum stuffed in this little hatchbag.
Yeah,
and I driving across the country. I was like, what are we doing? Let's just put our own band together, you know.
What was that other band that you were talking about before?
Lips Like Morphine.
Was that like
That was the first.
before?
That was the first band that Ahmad and I put together, we had a second bedroom in my condo. We held auditions. We didn't have a rehearsal space. We didn't have too much equipment, we put ads up on Craigslist, and we had all kinds of people come through, and that's where we met our original guitar player PJ, and he's a DJ right now in an up and coming DJ group called We Are Wolves. Werewolves. We Are Wolves. It's the way the logo is. It could be either, but yeah, great guy. And Del Starr, the original bass player from the Killers.
Oh, wow.
That was the first. The four of us were Lips Like Morphine. You know.
Why did that one go on?
This band. See, here's the thing.
Or did it just change?
Yeah, I don't really think. When I think of Love Vendetta, I don't really think of two separate bands, you know, because I've been in bands before that broke up and then you start something new. But Lips Like Morphine, we just became Love Vendetta. Lips Like Morphine never really broke up. Some members, you know, came and then they went. But the only reason why we changed our name is because it was kind of like a legal conflict at one point, because the name Lips Like Morphine inspired by Kill Hannah. One of their big hits was Lips Like Morphine back in like 2004. And we loved the track, we loved that name, and we went with that.
Yeah,
Thinking
it
that
was
years
a much better
later,
band name than a song.
years
but-
later, people would forget about that Lips Like Morphine's Kill Hannah, and it would just kind of fade away. But that became their like staple song. And they actually I think they sent us a letter. I want to say they sent us a letter at one point when we were like, we were getting a little buzz going with Lips Like Morphine, and they were like, you need
Yeah,
to,
and then
like,
every time you searched for us, their stuff came up first. And we had a manager at the time that was telling us that, you know, that it was going to be hard to get us any kind of a look at a record company because it had morphine in the name. And we had new guys in the band. You know, me and Ahmad never went anywhere. We kept going and going and going, and we had brand new guys for the first time in a long time. And we just wanted to do something fresh. And we wanted them to feel like they weren't coming into the old Lips Like Morphine. And, a lot of people still bug us about that. They like that original name the best.
How did you come up with Love Vendetta?
Ooh, that was a couple of months of writing on the bulletin board. Everybody would come in with 5 or 6 names, you know, like 2-3 times a week when we were rehearsing. And we'd
That's
cross
the
off
hardest
some
part.
of them.
It's the hardest part about being in a band is probably coming up with a band name. It's literally-
Yeah.
It's
And-
like
Yeah.
bands break up just based on coming up with a band name before they even start the band.
Yeah. I mean, literally, we a couple of months and probably 120 different names that we crossed off. And I think these were 2 words that were
Got
on the
put together.
board that got pushed together.
That's how I would have thought it would have happened.
Yeah, it
We
felt
kind of
right.
were going with something about the L from Lips Like Morphine. We're kind of
And the V.
experimenting with L, and then when it we had a bunch of different names up on the board, and we kind of like the Love Vendetta just kind of popped out for us one day at rehearsal, and it made sense. It kind of made sense for what we were doing. It was like when I think of Love Vendetta, I mean everybody has their own interpretation. I think everyone did at the time in the band, but when I think of it, it's like you're taking a vendetta out in life, and not in a violent, like negative way, but in a positive, aggressive way, like attacking your love, you know, your passion, your pursuit, and going for it in a way that's like a blood feud. You know what I mean? You're giving it everything you got, and you got to put it all on the table. You got to make a commitment to it. One life to live kind of mentality, and get aggressive.
Yeah, I think love and music are synonymous. I mean, music
agree.
is just that first breakup, you know, that first date, you know, the first time you fell in love, you know, first time somebody broke your heart, and like
So
you were
many
saying,
memories
you know,
attached to
vendetta can mean like a blood feud, like the Capulets and the Montagues, you know, and the Romeo and Juliet and stuff, but it also can mean like a prolonged campaign. And I feel like this music for us is, you know, it has so much love and sweat and tears in it, and it's something that we just have trouble letting go.
There's so much,
You know, you're continually in pursuit of trying to just make it, you know, be some kind of a paid musician, you know.
there's so much passion and memory involved in music.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the best memories in my, 30-something years are being on stage with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, just being brothers on stage is really brought us together. We were separated for a long time, living, separate parts of the country and college and stuff like that. And pretty much brought us back together.
Who are your musical influences?
He's got his, I have mine, and then we have a lot that cross over.
You know what? It's like I'm digging a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. You know, like listen to a lot of like Arcade Fire. I think that they're really, like pushing the envelope, experimenting with sounds, and getting sometimes like 16 musicians on the stage playing, all kinds of gadgets and background singers just, singing through crazy, you know, vocal effects. It's like, I think they're really trying to, and they have already, created something really unique and original. There's bands like just starting to like kind of pop right now. Like I don't know if you ever listen to like Big Black Delta. Have you heard of those guys yet? Just some cool stuff. Future Islands.
Oh my God.
They played here in Vegas
Okay.
down at the Beauty Bar already.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right before they blew up, and now they're like huge. But like they're just doing something. It's just different, It's original and it's passionate, Like if you watch their lead singer, man,
He's a true front man.
He just sucks you into this this world. It's like all heart, It's like that's kind of what inspires me.
He's Future Islands. Check it out if you've never heard of these guys. It's almost scary watching him. He's so into it, and he just changes when the music comes on, and he just becomes this, and he's looking you in the eyes, when he's singing these songs and these lyrics and stuff like that. And he reminds me of like Jim Morrison, the Stones, not just a singer-songwriter, guitar player kind of guy, but back in the day when they had frontmen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guy that just got up there, and that's what everybody came to see. This guy's gonna do like Axl Rose,
Yeah.
His little dancing and his voice and all that stuff. I mean, he just grabbed the audience, right from the beginning.
But what's cool about it is the music that he's singing in front of. It's like it's just super throwback, like new wave, disco, dancey. It's just really dancey, real like simplistic little like dancey drum beats and synthesizer, little old 80s kind of keyboards, and it's just if you didn't know, if you just heard the music, you would think like some of the tracks like Cyndi Lauper could jump in there and bust out like a whole dancey pop song, and then all of a sudden this dude just comes in and just captivates you. It's like,
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, my stuff, Jim Morrison, The Doors, the Smiths, Morrissey, I love his voice. It's just he can do no wrong.
I
Any
was never
song
into
that
The Doors
he
that
play, huh?
I was never into The Doors that much.
Really? He's just like my idol. Like to me, he was rock and roll. There was certain guys like that, Jimi Hendrix, Morrissey, Morrison, David Bowie. When he was dressing up in his kimono and the boots and the makeup and stuff. I mean, these guys were rock and roll. They weren't some manufactured band that
Different personas.
it's got a hit on the radio right now, and you know what? 12 months later, we won't even remember what the name of the band was. Music has changed so much; it's ridiculous. But to me, Jim Morrison, that was. I mean, it's the only person I can even. You can't even compare the two. But I mean, like modern day, maybe be like a Lenny Kravitz, man. I mean, the guy is. He just is rock and roll, no matter what he does. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't. He wouldn't have to get on a guitar, and you knew this guy was a musician when he walked in the room.
You get that.
You know what I'm saying? It was. I don't know. I'm infatuated with the movies
Music
and
for me, I mean,
his poems and stuff.
it isn't horrible, but since 2000, I think it's dropped off a lot. I mean, there are certain bands like here and there that I still like, but I miss like the 90s stuff and stuff like that.
It's changing. I miss the new wave stuff from the 80s, man. Duran Duran.
Yeah, I like that too.
Cure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them. Okay. The one you like. Since you guys are brothers and you're in a band, is there any sibling rivalry, and do you argue while you're writing or playing?
I think we've gotten a lot better.
We have.
There was a time.
We have gotten a lot better. He's probably quit the band, 6 times, and I quit the band 5. And
It only lasts like a day, though.
It's so he's super passionate about the music. It's his whole life besides his little girl. So nobody messes with the music. Ahmad comes in here, he busts his ass at work, and in real life and day to day, but when he comes in here, you leave everything at the door and you come in here to create something, and to vibe and to, and this is like our, especially for him, our little getaway. Our old guitarist, his wife didn't even know the address over here. He said, don't put me on Facebook posts with the address. This is my getaway from life, and this is where we come to make music. And so when people are that serious about stuff, you have a bad day, and especially being brothers, man, we butt heads, and I don't want to back down, and he doesn't want to back down. And, we've had nights where everything that could have possibly went wrong on stage. And then it's just one slip of, I say something he didn't like, or he says something in the wrong tone of voice, and, we're about to slug each other in the alley, behind the beauty bar. So it gets crazy. It gets crazy, but like recently we've been, last couple of years, I think a lot better. And, we work well together, we write well together, and he writes with me in mind, and, with my voice and my registry and stuff. So it's cool, It gets hard sometimes,
Yeah.
They always want to tell the singer, can you try singing a little bit like this, or sing a little bit like that, or try to throw a little Bowie on it, And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, man, what comes out,
Yeah.
And
Sing with the English accent.
yeah,
It's nice.
throw a little that. You gotta throw a little of that British on it, I'm like, these are not necessarily him, but other people in the band, and and definitely we've gone through some different stages of the band and the sound.
It never worked. It never worked.
Yeah,
In
it's
the end,
contrived.
in
It's
the end,
just,
the songs that
it's gotta
sound the
be-
best are the ones when he's just
it's gotta be organic.
Charlie
man.
Danger,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
natural and authentic. It's like, but that has been said before.
Yeah.
Throw a little British accent on it. I don't think it'll work.
Yeah.
It never does.
Funny stuff. Man.
You do a good British accent, though.
Right, love. Fucking brilliant.
One of the things I like most about the band is your presence on stage, and
Appreciate that. Man.
you're welcome. I wanted to ask you, how important do you think sensuality and intimacy is on the stage while you're performing?
I think it's just being a singer and not playing an instrument. You've got to sell the songs. You got to sell yourself. And I'm all about having the girls whistle or scream,
Yeah.
or but yeah, it's definitely, you want to. I feel like we've always said this. You want to try to take the audience on a little bit of a journey. You don't want to just hit them over the head. With every song's at 145 BPMs, and then drop the mic and we're out of here. You want to slow it down. You want to bring the lights down low on certain songs, and bring everything back, and then explode. But yeah, I mean it's you're selling sex, and you're selling all kinds of stuff when you're up there. It just depends on the night.
One of the things is just including the audience with what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's part of the give and take of like, just
I hope that I do that. I kind of just go into my own world. I mean, the only people I really see when I'm on stage is Mary and Ahmad, and maybe guitar player at one point, but I almost don't even remember
yeah.
like
Yeah,
who was
you're
out in the
in the
audience,
zone.
who was there. I try to look out, and you might think that you caught eyes with me or something, but yeah, it's weird. You just have to.
happens in like a blur. It's not-
Yeah, you just have to turn. You have to turn everything off, and you just have to do your thing and dance and have fun. And if the audience can feel it, I think that's what it's all about. But yeah, it's really. I used to, the first time we played the Freakin' Frog on Maryland Parkway, I threw up twice before we went on stage. I was like, I still get super nervous just till today.
Wow.
We go do a show next week. Right before we go on, I get real nervous, and you just have to kind of switch it off and go into your like I said, like your own world. So it's weird.
How do you decide what parts of songs that Mary does? Like when you know what she's gonna sing?
I
I was gonna ask Mary that, but she's not here.
Yeah. I think that lately he's been writing stuff where he knows, oh, this would be, this would make a great backup vocal part, or a great harmony with Charles and Mary. And but a lot of times, we just give her the tracks in their early stages, and we tell her make a CD, put it in your car, and she's super creative,
She's amazing
super
vocalist.
talented. I tell her all
Like
the
I said,
time.
she's one of my favorite parts of your guys' band.
Yeah, I tell her all the time. She's. I don't want her to feel like she's the backup singer. She's so talented, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And her resume is a mile long. For her to even be dealing with this hot studio and singing with Love Vendetta is a blessing. It really is. But yeah, we let her feel out. There's certain stuff where we know there needs to be a backup line, and sometimes we try to get her to do these high parts and stuff, and she'll fight with us a little bit. She's really a front woman, and she's lead a forward kind of.
Yeah, I get that.
She's in the same register as me. She doesn't like doing anything girly. She wants to rock out, and I just love having her in the band. I mean, there was musicians that have come and go, and oh, Mary should be in the back. She's the backup singer, and they'll set up the mic, off to the side of the stage, and I get up there and I'm like, nope, and I bring her right up there with me. Mary can sing her ass off. I don't want star voice in the back,
Yeah.
and I vibe off of her.
Yeah.
When she's
Oh, yeah.
killing it, I gotta kill it. I can't
agree,
come
yeah.
with some BS show, with her there, because she's so amazing, and I think we work well together. I think that's why she does it. Is 'cause she
Everybody's
likes
supposed to
singing.
work off everybody.
Yeah, she likes singing with me, and we're tight. So.
Okay. What is your writing process? Does one of you write music and one of you write lyrics, or does it switch around, and how does the arrangements go?
We do. Both. Like, traditionally, we've always kind of had just two approaches to songwriting. It's like, a lot of times, me and him will just be, just play around with a keyboard line. We revolve a lot of our songwriting around keyboards. Everything kind of starts on a synthesizer, or a piano, and come up with a little line, a little riff, and then just start writing. Get like the meat and potatoes of the song, verse, chorus, kind of put together in like a rough outline, and then bring it into the studio and evolve it, embellish and color it. But also it works the other way around sometimes. When we're in here with a full-on band, we just jam and just something will just come out, just totally spontaneous, and that's when I think you write your best.
Because I don't play an instrument, it's very difficult to write.
When we're just doing a live jam,
song.
and we come up with something on the spot. He writes like really well, like right on the spot. When I write, I tend to it's a little more quiet, like a quiet atmosphere, like just like.
Yeah, I
You
need
can
to
write-
be in here with
you
the
can write
guys.
lyrics and then do the melody, and then have
Yeah,
the music
sometimes you
come
bring
from that.
in. Well, once in a while, you bring in like lyrics.
I bring in
and
some
to-
stuff,
and
and, it's
and put it to music. But I
Right.
think I always felt it worked the best when you get a piece of music that you're inspired by.
yeah.
And then he'll say, all right, well, we were just jamming on, hit record, let's